Okay, it's Mari McInerney from Croaky here again, and we're still at the Oceania Tobacco Control Conference in Perth, and I'm talking now with Jacqui Bell from Quit Vic, and we're trying to do something that we haven't done before, which is to actually be a little bit multimedia, and that's because Jacqui presented on something today that involves seeing some clips. So, can you just tell me briefly about what we're going to have a quick look at?
So we're about to have a look at two electronic cigarette commercials. The first one is for a product called Vapor Fresh, and the second one is for a product called Clever Smoke.
Okay, so should we tell anybody what we're looking for in this, or shall we just have a look and see what people think? But you did pose the question to the session today about that you wanted them to vote at the end.
That's right. So I asked the audience today to have a think about when they were watching the ads, whether or not there was any material in there that might have promoted smoking or a particular tobacco product.
Okay, so let's have a look. We're going to have a look at the first one now, which is
Vapor Fresh.
Vapor Fresh.
Now, here's the go for saving money by vaping with an exciting new e-cigarette called Vapor Fresh. The same pleasure as a carton for around the price of a packet. Vapor Fresh has a range of delicious vapor flavours, and a USB charger keeps it ready to enjoy anytime. For more information and to order yours, go to vaporfresh.com.au. Vapor Fresh saves you money by vaping. Vapor Fresh, all the smoking pleasure without any smoke.
Okay, so now we're going to look at the next one, and while you're getting it together, I'm going to show you being very clever getting it together. But can we, these are Australian advertisements.
Yes, sorry, I'll just pause that. Yes, these were shown on Australian TV. One of them was shown earlier this year, and one was shown, this one that we're about to see, I think was shown in 2013.
Okay.
I'll just record it back. All right, we're ready to go on Clever Smoke.
Okay, so let's look back at that.
If you're a smoker or someone you love as a smoker, you need to stay tuned and we'll show you how to save $7,000. Smoking, it's the leading cause of preventable death in the Western world, killing nearly 5 million people every year. In this country, life expectancy is over 79, but the average smoker dies at 65, nearly 15 years sooner. And nicotine is powerfully addictive, so quitting is easier said than done. But we've got great news, because now there is a solution. Introducing Clever Smoke, the electronic cigarette that looks, feels, even tastes like a normal cigarette, but with none of the health risks. Clever Smoke is designed and manufactured in Germany to the highest quality standards, and independent testing proves Clever Smoke contains no nicotine, no tar, no heavy metals, in fact not one of the thousands of toxic substances found in tobacco. Remember, smokers die nearly 15 years before non-smokers. Every single tobacco cigarette can take 29 minutes off your life. And if you're 60 and a smoker, you are 83% more likely to die this year than a 60-year-old non-smoker. So Clever Smoke can help you save your own life and save a small fortune. If you're an average smoker, this year you will spend well over $7,000 on cigarettes. How'd you like an extra $7,000 a year, cold hard cash in your pocket? Well, you can start saving it right now, because today we've worked out a very special offer for the viewers. When you call for your rechargeable Clever Smoke kit, we'll give you 5 tobacco-flavoured cartridges, 5 menthol cartridges, 5 vanilla, 5 coffee, and 5 more of apple. That's 25 cartridges, the equivalent of 300 cigarettes, absolutely free. But wait, you'll never need to go without your Clever Smoke, because we're also giving you this USB adapter and car charger, absolutely free. So what are you waiting for? Call right now on 1-800-744-744. Quit smoking while you keep smoking and save thousands of dollars. Call 1-800-744-744. That's 1-800-744-744. This offer is not available in stores, so call now.
Okay, well that's quite interesting, isn't it? Now I'm actually just going to walk around here so that I'm across from you now, and we're going to talk about it. Now I think in the session, what was most interesting, I think, was everybody responded when the young girl ran and joined her vaping mum.
Yes, that did elicit a strong response.
Yeah. So what was the consensus in the room?
I think it's safe to say the consensus in the room is that both commercials had content in there that probably promotes the act of smoking, and I'm sure many people thought that particularly the Clever Smoke ad probably promoted cigarettes as well, considering how closely the products look to a real cigarette.
Okay, so can you talk about the legal issues then that raises, and sort of around the whole question of sort of broadcasting or advertising tobacco.
Yes. So Quit Victoria made complaints to the Australian Communications and Media Authority about both the Vapor Fresh ad and the Clever Smoke ad, on the basis that we thought both of the ads had some material in there that promoted smoking.
Which is completely illegal.
Yes, so you're not allowed to promote smoking under tobacco advertising prohibition laws in Australia. Our laws are quite broad, so they essentially ban any still moving image and any audible message that promotes, among other things, smoking, words and designs closely associated with a tobacco product, or use or purchase of a tobacco product. So you complained? You raised your concerns? Yes, we lodged formal complaints with the ACMA, and both of those complaints were rejected. They were not upheld. And yet they were actually accepted by perhaps another one that you wouldn't have expected. Yes, so community members had meanwhile made complaints about both of these ads, both Clever Smoke and Vapor Fresh, to a body called the Advertising Standards Bureau, or Board, which is an advertising industry self-regulation body. It's not a government agency. It's a voluntary scheme that the advertising industry is a part of, and they receive complaints and consider complaints about ads. These ads that we just saw, community members made complaints on the basis that they breached community standards around health and safety, and both of those complaints were upheld. We've got, hopefully the viewers saw, particularly with the Vapor Fresh ad, it describes smoking as a pleasure twice, and that material, according to our broadcasting regulator, was not considered to be a breach of our tobacco advertising prohibition laws. Now, they had their technical reasons behind that. We may or may not disagree with them from Quit's perspective, but at the end of the day, it says that our existing tobacco advertising prohibition laws are probably not up to the job of preventing electronic cigarette advertisements that either inadvertently or directly promote smoking or particular tobacco products. You didn't talk about it in this session, but has something like this come along before that has tested the laws and we've had to catch up? As far as I know, these are the only two complaints that have been made to the ACMA, the broadcasting regulator, on electronic cigarette ads, because I've searched their database and haven't come across any others. With the ASB, there have been a number of other complaints around e-cigarette and e-shisha products, some of which have been upheld and some of which have not been upheld. So it's certainly not a guarantee that the ASB is going to, uphold a complaint against any electronic cigarette ad. It's really going to depend on the subjective viewpoints of the person who's considering the complaint, or the board that's considering the complaint. So where would change come from then? Well, I think there may be a couple of options for trying to regulate electronic cigarette advertisements. We might be able to amend the Tobacco Advertising Prohibition Act so that it's more clear that act is intended to cover things like electronic cigarettes and personal vaporisers. Okay, and is that something that QuitVic will be working with? So Quit Victoria endorses the position of Cancer Council Australia and the National Heart Foundation of Australia that all electronic cigarette advertisements should actually be banned. That wouldn't necessarily apply to products that in the future are approved by our medicines regulator, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, but for those products, they would need to comply with very strict advertising restrictions that apply to our medicines and our therapeutic goods. And if a product was a prescription-only medicine, for example, there would be very limited advertising of those kinds of products. Okay, so there is a pathway. There's certainly a pathway, yes. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.